Hello and welcome to Mixed Chat, the podcast where we dive into the fascinating world of aviation industry. I'm your host, Shukri Khalifa, and today I have a special guest, a brilliant entrepreneur. With me today, I have Robert Plak. I tried my best, sorry.
All good. You did well.
Robert is the CEO of VOO. VOO is a digital platform. It's considered a B2B platform and marketplace for operators and charter brokers. It links both of them together. And as I can see it, it's kind of Amazon of aviation, where you have the vendor and you have the end user. So if we want to dive into the naming first, what VOO means, is it like VOO fast or?
No, we wanted to do something that has nothing in the name with aviation and business jet and private jet and charter and all of these things. So we tried
traditional ones.
Correct. So we want to stand out from what already exists, and this is what VOO is all about. I'll explain a little bit later on. And VOO actually means flight in Portuguese.
Oh,
and
nice.
This is what we did. And with the logo, if you can see that, you can make nice aircraft windows out of the O's. So we are playing around a little bit with that.
Yeah, I like the logo. Actually, I've noticed that it's an aircraft window, but I didn't know that it's a Portuguese name. Okay, very interesting.
But the Portuguese pronounce it differently. It's even as hard for me as for you to pronounce the Czech name. They say VOO or something like this. So there is an apostrophe, an accent at one of the O's, but we don't do that.
I have to ask our GH manager. She's Portuguese, Bella Palma. So maybe she'll help me next time when I pronounce VOO. Okay, so if we want to talk in detail about VOO, for our general audience who doesn't know anything about the way it works, as I see it, you are transforming the way how brokers and charter brokers and operators interact on this platform. So could you take us through the steps one by one, from the moment the charter broker logs in until he gets the quote from the operator?
Yeah, first of all, we are taking care that we only have proper charter brokers and aircraft operators on the platform. So not every company is allowed to get on board. There is a verification process to really only let business aviation professionals on board the platform. They need to provide documents and additional information if the documents are not enough. So things like that. So once a broker logs in the platform, it's a very intuitive process. So the broker more or less does a search as they are used to do in other marketplaces out there. But the big difference is that they fast forward some steps. As soon as they put the information for the search, like departure, airport, arrival airport, number of passengers, times, date and times, but also additional information like do I have pets on board? Do I want to smoke on board? Do my passengers require VIP handling, catering, maybe catering budget, all of those things. So it's more precise search. And once the broker clicks the search button, they immediately receive a booking or search result that shows them all available options at accurately calculated prices. Why? Because the prices the operators put in and all their strategic planning, tactical thinking, fleet logistics, optimization, all of that, ferry flights, empty sectors is all taken into consideration in the search result. And the search result is easily filterable so that the broker is able to select what the client wants. Then they could select a few of these auto-quoted results, switch to the short list so that they only see out of a list of hundreds of aircraft what they're interested in. Then they maybe put their margin in. Then they maybe decide what they want to add on their offer to their end client. They can immediately make an offer to the end client. The offer is interactive, which means the end client tells the broker by clicking through the digital offer, and the operator can send that. Sorry, the broker can send that offer it's a link with a message in an email, in a PDF, in a quote document, whatever it is, doesn't matter. WhatsApp as well.
Oh, you linked it to WhatsApp. That's good.
Of course,
It's very
it's
instant.
a link. You can put the link wherever you want. And the client that opens the link is able to say, I like the first aircraft. I don't like the second option, but I want to book the third one. The broker gets the notification and is able to immediately either request the booking or instantly book the flight with the operator, which means the operator is not bothered any longer with hundreds and tons of quote requests they need to manually answer. It's a booking request that they receive, and at eBase we announced the instant booking feature with our launching partner GlobeAir. They were the first operator really doing a setup in a way they are so happy they don't need to change a single thing, and they are happy to instantly receive bookings. So there is no need to exchange paperwork. The broker that got the confirmation from the end client just clicks one single button and the aircraft is booked. So not every operator wants to give that power away to have a second look. There is owner's approval and things like that. So an aircraft with owner's approval doesn't prevent the operator to sign the contract, but the operator has a possibility to opt out if the owner is not happy with the trip for any reason. And for those who don't have owner's approval in place, the operator has the last say. The operator is the one that receives the booking request and says, no, for any reason, maybe I did a mistake, maybe I do not want to sell under these conditions, maybe the system miscalculated because their setting is not that good yet.
So it's all about how you insert the settings, the input,
Correct.
so you get the exact output.
Still the operator is in full control on what we calculate. Of course, we have a very smart system that does a lot of the work, but we depend on the input of the operator and the integrations that we have with the flight management systems to automatically get updates on their schedule and their availabilities. And this is it more or less. Once the broker requests the booking, operator confirms or instant booking, the contract is made, the broker is able to inform the client accordingly, and then they start to organize the whole flight. The misconception sometimes on the market is, how can a booking platform, and we are not we are a marketplace not for requesting and quoting, we are for bookings.
Booking, exactly.
And the misconception is that some think that there are so many things that you need to consider with a charter flight. Yes, that's true, but even in the workflow that brokers and operators do nowadays, all the flight preparation comes after the contract is signed, which means request the handlings, order the catering, get the fuel ordered at the right place, permits, overflights, all of that comes later. So maybe a flight is not feasible. Yeah, but that happens today as well. We cannot pre-order slots and all of that. This comes later. But it's booking and not flight execution what we do.
Amazing. And do you have anything related to payments on the the platform?
Yeah, so as you said, the Amazon comparison
Amazon,
is quite
yes.
right.
You can use it for marketing tools.
Absolutely, yeah. We think that a client that books, and especially on short-term ad hoc flights, when the banks are closed, Friday afternoon for Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning departure, the operator doesn't know the broker well. They want to have the money secured and maybe in their account before they depart. So yes, there is a possibility. We call it VOO Pay. It's instant payment. The broker executes the payment. They need to have the funds in their account beforehand, and the operator instantly gets the money in their account. If the operator is not part of the VOO Pay ecosystem, they will get the money transferred on their normal bank account, but they receive a payment transaction link, more or less, that is created by the bank, by our bank, our corporation bank, telling them that the money is executed on the way and cannot be taken back somehow.
Robert, you've just announced the empty leg feature here at Air Charter Expo, and it was highly anticipated by your customers, I believe. What makes VOO MT-Leg feature stand out from other competitors in the market? And could you explain how it works?
Yeah, we listened carefully to the market, and we already had an MT-Leg functionality in the software. So what we do is, and I explained that beforehand, once a broker searches for a flight, all the available options are calculated properly, and positioning flights that are able to be used as empty sectors are already shown in the search result with a price discount. So a normal search always considers all the empty legs available with the certain operators out there. But the market, for any reason, demanded a visualization of empty legs in the software a lot. And we listened carefully to the market, and we decided to develop something, a separate section that allows a broker to see all the available empty legs in a certain period of time, search especially for certain empty legs, provide the radius from the departing airport to the arrival airport, show an estimate price for a price for the empty leg the operator has to offer when changed into a taxi flight. And then when the routing changes from what the operator offers to what the broker wants, then it considers the empty leg discounts that we already have. So it's more or less a step back and more visualization, and a feature that we already had 2 years ago when we launched the software. But the market heavily wanted to see that, and we listened and we did it.
So Robert, the traditional way of doing it was somehow the charter brokers, they have an escrow account, and once you send the money, it goes to the escrow account, and then it's released to the operator. But what you're telling me now with VOO, it's different. It goes directly through VOO payment to the operator through your bank account. So you are the guarantor in this case.
No, we are not. We are personally not guaranteeing anything. We have a payment service provider in the background, a UK company that is a subsidiary of Visa, and what they are doing is they take care of the whole transaction and everything. And there are some major banks attached. So what happens is we provide the software and the connection, and the bank takes care of the traditional banking processing of the money. But as far as I know, the escrow accounts are only used when you have aircraft transactions.
Yes.
But with charters, I never saw
sometimes
escrows.
it is the case, you know. But
I never had this personally. Yeah. In charter, I was with an operator 20 years ago, and I had my own charter company.
Which operator?
Over 10 years. It was Jet Alliance before, that got bankrupt. Then I was one of the guys starting from the very beginning with Avconjet, 2007. Nice. Left the company 2010, and then established my own charter company, and over 10 years I was a charter broker and a sales agent, exclusively chartering out and utilizing aircraft on behalf of operators.
Okay, so basically you have 20 years of experience in the industry. Is it only in the charter sector, or you've done other like operational stuff?
A little bit, some projects, new AOCs in the Middle East, for example, at these days with Jet Alliance and Avconjet and other projects, but mainly charter, B2B and B2C. So from my experience, the transaction is always, and this is the problem that we solve, a broker needs to transfer the money for an ad hoc flight. The operator wants the money secured. After sending the invoice, the broker somehow needs to transfer the money, but the banking system is not ready for that. So how can you overcome that when you don't have credit or the possibility to get the money through in time? And
weekends, bank holidays, it happens.
Correct. Yeah. So what we do is we have VOO Pay as a solution. It's instant payments between the broker and the operator. The disadvantage is the broker needs to have the money in the account beforehand. So we're working on a solution to fund the account much easier. And of course, there is crypto very soon as well. Because with every VOO Pay transaction that we have, we give rewards as a loyalty program, and the rewards, are in crypto. So the broker receives that, and the operator receives that, and they can do whatever they want with that.
It's like a credit note for them inside the system.
It's a kickback for the broker, and it's additional margin for the operator, more or less.
Basically, the more you use the platform, the more you get.
Correct. And it's an incentive to both parties. So it's an incentive for the broker to use VOO as a payment solution, and it's an incentive for the operator to subscribe, because, as I said, the operator needs to also have a VOO account, and if not, they at least receive the transaction information from the bank. And as I said before, through my experience in charter, this is one of the pain points, the bottlenecks that we are solving since
100%.
20 years.
100%. And for a lot of operators, they would be happy to receive the money instantly. They don't have to pay until there's a something fixed from the charter broker side. So it's instantly you're using this platform and you get paid. And how many companies now enrolled inside the system? The number of them,
we have more than 200 brokers, company accounts. Of course, more than that, at least one company account requires one user. So we start with one company account, one user on broker and operator side. So 200 broker companies registered, and 140 plus operators with right now 400 aircraft on the platform.
Amazing. And they come from different regions?
The majority is Europe.
Europe.
But as a digital product, we cannot just focus on one market. So we have a bit in the US. I would say the US is the biggest besides Europe, but there is also Latin America, there is Africa, there is Asia, the Middle East, of course. So I consider Europe, Middle East, and North Africa as one market, more or less. And we are very active in this one. Majority is in that market.
I wish you all the best, actually, to penetrate new markets.
Thank you very much.
So, Robert, you've mentioned that in 2010 you started your own company. It's an ambitious plan, for someone who has been working for other companies. And now you started VOO. It is 1 year back, right? It's 2 years or?
No, we started in 2020.
2020, in COVID?
Yeah. The company was established 2020 in March. Exactly 1 year later, we hired the first developers. So we started software development in March 21. We had the prototype ready and presented it the first time at eBase 22 in May.
eBase, I remember that. Yes.
And then 1 month later in June, we were on the market with a live product. And since then, we are picking up new brokers and operators.
So as a CEO and entrepreneur at the same time, what key challenges you have faced in creating this product during the entire journey?
Of course, it's software development. I'm a charter guy. I'm from the industry. I have a logistical background in cargo business before business aviation. But being a software entrepreneur, serving the industry with a product that I desperately wanted to have when I was a charter guy was somehow difficult, because I had no idea about software development, and I had to learn all the things, how developers work, of course, in order to get the software done in a way and in a certain time frame that we wanted. So that was the biggest obstacle at the beginning. Other challenges were getting the attention of the market. One of the biggest challenges that we still have is the market want something that we develop. They want to change from traditional systems they are using. I know what needs to be changed, but then you provide that, and the market is somehow
resisting, I would say.
Yeah, and hesitant, because this is something new, and you are careful with new things. We struggle a bit to get the operators and brokers as quick on the platform as we thought we would get them.
Of course. What about the funding? Was it an issue? Because all entrepreneurs go through this issue.
Yeah. It was difficult to get the first investor. Then we had to change the investor because it was not the right mix of people. So we got a new one, private investor now. They are quite happy, but it's no secret that it takes longer than we expected to get to reach to the critical mass. And this is what I just explained. 200 brokers, 140 operators would be enough if we would have all the aircraft of these operators and if all brokers would use the system on a regular basis, which is not the case. So the biggest obstacles right now is data quality with the operators, interactions with the brokers, and volume in terms of subscribers.
Yes, that's very important. As of now, you're B2B. Would you think that in the future you would change to B2C? It's in the pipeline, maybe? No.
Definitely not. Some people fear, especially in the market, that we would turn around and do a B2C product in business aviation. I'll tell you a secret today.
Okay, I'm happy to hear that.
we are working on a B2C solution, but has nothing to do with private jets, business aviation. It's a totally different segment. It's a travel product comparable to Expedia.
Or Booking.com. Booking.com.
Not about hotels.
Not hotels, it's about travel.
Seats in commercial aircraft.
Okay.
Cheaper, faster, better. On blockchain technology, also with crypto somehow involved. A referral program where you get kickbacks when you book flights, and when your community that you built, helping the company to grow. When they book their flights, you get rewards in real money and not just, I don't know, a few miles and more points that you can use to get a fire extinguisher cheaper. So that's not the case.
That happens, yes.
Yeah.
So we can say to all the B2C suppliers in the business aviation, rest assured, VOO is not going into that sector. You are focusing mainly on B2B.
So definitely no B2C solution in business aviation, but we want to. Right now we integrate it into operators' flight management systems to get the schedule information, what we need to properly show pricing and availability. But we are now, and that's also new, connecting to brokers, to tech brokers, and to CRM systems of brokers, providing them the sourcing and the booking information for their digital platforms. So each, and there are almost no competitors in the B2B segment, but there are so many so many companies out there.
Vendors or suppliers.
Who develop their own apps and B2C solutions. And we want to serve them as a GDS. And this is the bigger picture of VOO, flights as we call it. So we have VOO flights for B2B, business aviation, and VOO travel for B2C end client solution travel product, not with private jets. So that's something I think very important, because there are so many solutions out there. Why should we develop something that other people's already did great on? And we just need to power them, because what they do right now is they need to do the same job as we. They go to each and every operator and try to get the data in proper condition. But we have that. And we could immediately provide that information to all the tech brokers out there and to all the brokers who have proper CRM systems who want to use that.
When you talk about CRMs, I guess you need to do an integration with your system.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so that's part of the plan.
That's the plan, to provide that information, and then we are real GDS, and this is what we always wanted from the very beginning.
So VOO is a marketplace, B2B marketplace. What other products you can offer in that essence, meaning like for private jets?
Yeah, we decided to start in a market that I'm very familiar with because of my experience in the charter market over 20 years, also with my own company, and of course with a large focus in Europe. So we started as a business aviation marketplace for private jets, for business aircraft, in passenger transportation. But the next logical steps are that we move forward into air ambulance, medevac, helicopter, cargo aircraft and freighters, but also commercial aircraft. If you want to book the whole charter of a commercial aircraft that is available, and airlines have free capacity on their aircraft and crew availability, nothing stops us. And if you think further, air taxis, drones, all the eVTOLs and so on, there is a huge market opening soon, and we have the right product because we can schedule and utilize and offer a booking solution for all these flying products.
So you have a pretty futuristic plan, I see. Even you have included eVTOLs, which is the future of aviation. And speaking of markets, probably you have dealt with, as you said that before, you have dealt with a lot of people from different regions.
Yep.
In your point of view, what do you think is the most significant market that will have a biggest share in the future, and how VOO is adapting to that market in terms of the product, the final end product for those people who come from that market?
I'm not sure if I got the question 100%
I can paraphrase
right, but if it's about the further market development,
yes,
we will definitely move with the B2B marketplace, business aviation, business jets to the US, from Europe to the US. Right now we focus on Europe, North Africa and Middle East. The next logical step is the US market and North America. And then it's rest of the world, because if you look at the numbers, the other markets, Latin America, Africa, Asia, is not that
significant
strong
share.
With that. But if we talk about eVTOLs, for example, as an air taxis, I think there is a huge potential, especially in the Middle East and Asia, because this market is so interested in what is going on there and investing so much money. This will be a big push in the near future.
The US market, I believe it makes up to 40% of the entire global share, and VOO being there, it's very important because you're talking about one of the biggest markets.
Absolutely.
There's a need.
The only reason why we didn't open the US, and we started very early after our launch at NBA Base in Orlando 2022 as an exhibitor, but we found that we cannot grow that quick, and we shouldn't lose the focus. And our focus, as I said, is Europe, North Africa and Middle East. Therefore we decided to focus on Europe, and once we are big enough in a single market in terms of critical mass, brokers, operators, aircraft and bookings, then we can move forward to other markets. And while we do that, we keep developing the product with its features and functionalities. One you already disclosed, we announced here today. My colleague Ivana just sent out the press release. And the other sectors of aviation, helicopter, cargo, medevac and so on, will logically follow within these markets that we already working on.
Definitely. And VOO now is based in Europe, right?
Yeah, we are Austrian company, Austrian product. All the employees and all the development is in Austria, in our headquarters in Graz.
So it's fully developed by Austrian companies.
This is very important to us because we do not want to outsource the whole knowledge, we do not want to be dependent on somebody else at the other side of the world. We need to have the full control on our product and on the knowledge that we share with the people.
That's the problem most entrepreneurs face. They have to outsource the development, and then they face a lot of issues because you are disconnected. You are not doing it under one umbrella. But in your case, that's
and also we love remote working. We are a digital company, a digital product. But even the team, who are very experienced software developers and also juniors, of course, the team is great, and they prefer to come to the office at least 3 times a week because they like the whole energy. Like if you think of Silicon Valley companies, Google, Facebook, and so on, it's similar in our company. they freak out with their Nerf guns from 1 second to the other, and then they all sit together and code for hours. The culture in the company is really, really good, and we are very proud to have that team.
It's all about the culture.
Absolutely. And you lose that if you are remote with some, I don't know, Romanian company or Indian company, or I don't know, there are so many great developers out there, and I get tons of emails each and every day offering outsourcing solutions for apps, for software development, but we need to refuse that. So please stop sending us those messages. We do everything in-house. This is a company policy.
That's the thing that all developers must know. Please don't start bothering them, because the guys are doing it in-house. They don't want your help.
That's a decision. Nothing against you. Sorry.
Great. So, Robert, for this round of Mixed Chat, we came up with a new fun game. It's called Inside the Black Box, where you have to draw 2 questions randomly, and we will see what you will get, and then we will go into the answers. I hope that they are interesting for our guests, because a lot of our guests ask us to do that. They want to know about the secrets of aviation. So let's start.
I think it's entertaining if you don't ask me any secrets that I'm not able to disclose.
Of course, no. Of course, it's just the general stuff, you know. Okay, so let's go into the first question. As you can see, it's called Mixed Chat Recorder. Do not open, but you're gonna open it for the first time.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
I'm the first one?
Yes, you're the special guest. So please, you can choose one of them. Okay. And please, if you could read it out loud. All right, yeah.
Who has been the most inspirational figure in aviation for you?
Whether it's historic or present day figure.
Okay. I had the honor to meet Eric Lindbergh once, the son or grandson of the Lindbergh family. And, but I would say the most emotionally inspirational figure is Howard Hughes.
Oh,
the
amazing. Yeah,
the one and only.
Of course, you know, all of us know Howard Hughes. Anyone, let's say, in the aviation industry. Of course, it's an inspirational with also the movies that he has.
What he did at these days when he was active, the pioneer role that he took over, the various segments that he was in. Not only aviation, he was also a film producer.
Exactly, he managed to cover a lot of aspects. Not only the aviation, he was going into the film industry. He was an entrepreneur, like creating business. So yeah, he's an inspirational figure. To me, if you ask me this question, it would be present day Tim Clark, the CEO of Emirates. You know, because that guy came 40 years, I believe, and he's still there, passionately working for the company. He doesn't even want to resign, because he knows the capabilities he can add.
And started with one old aircraft.
Exactly, and it was flying to Karachi back then. And now Emirates, I think it covers the whole world with almost 260 aircraft. So
the biggest parking lot for A380s.
Yes. So I would love one day, maybe, anyone hearing us, if you could hook me up with this interview or a meeting with the guy.
Maybe you should try to get him into a podcast.
Yeah, one day. Actually, it's a good idea. We should consider that, hopefully. So we'll go to the other question.
Okay.
Hopefully you get the question that I have prepared. Yeah, okay.
So you're smiling. What do I expect? It's a long one.
Okay.
What do you think is the biggest risk or challenge facing the aviation industry today?
Oh, that's important.
I think there is a misconception of what the industry does and what the climate impact is, because compared to the whole transport sector, aviation, and especially business aviation, is not existing at all. It's not counting. But it's easy to blame the rich, who will not argue with climate activists. I think
it is important, actually, because when we speak about figures, it's less. The one I heard, the last statistics, it's less than 3% contributing to the climate.
I don't know the exact figures, but once I saw the comparison, what business aviation is out of aviation, what aviation is out of the whole transport sector, which is nothing, and the whole transport sector compared to worldwide emissions. And if you put that into direct comparison with, for example,
agriculture, by the way.
That's what I wanted to say. So if all the activists would stop eating meat, we wouldn't have an issue.
Yeah, people don't know that, and they're always blaming the business aviation. Of course, it's important for business owners and companies to take further measures, like, for example, implementing sustainable aviation fuel in their flights.
Of course, and this is what we do with VOO as well. I mean, if we know the emissions because we exactly calculate routing instead of Great Circle, for example. So we know the fuel burn on each and every sector. But we do not have a solution to offset it right now. We are talking to some people that are also here at ACE right now to implement a functionality that allows to offset the emissions produced. But simply by using the VOO software, it optimizes the whole schedule of an operator, it reduces empty sectors, and it avoids that you burn fuel that you later on need to offset. I mean, we do a lot, the whole industry does a lot. But even with that, if you put the numbers into proper relations, it's nothing. Other challenges, let me think, maybe I can come up with something else.
Maybe challenges you have gone through, or maybe from the industry in general.
I think one challenge is that, and commercial aviation does it right, they are good in digitalization, automation, integration, and so on. Business aviation, who claims to be that innovative, the manufacturers are innovative with eVTOLs, the providers are innovative with SAF and so on, but the industry itself is not that innovative. Operators still use Excel sheets to calculate their flights, to manage their schedule. So the industry is not that innovative. I think digitalization is a big thing. And with that comes automation, integration, transparency, which the market needs. And this is not a disadvantage, it's an advantage.
It's good that we have you as an innovative player in the business aviation. Honestly, for me, I think you will have a lot to contribute to the market. And in the upcoming years, I hope that we see a lot of companies enroll in your system and they start using it for many reasons. First, it is, as you said, not the conventional way of doing it. It's more transforming the whole way of doing business. And second, you said it, when it comes to small practices for climate change, you are contributing when you're using those automated digital systems.
Sure, anybody can do something, but I think we should not lose the focus on what is really important, and it's always easier to blame others. And for activists, we all know that. I mean, to do something yourself at home is much more difficult than just to go out on the street and blame somebody else or put oil over an aircraft.
Yes, it's
this is pointless.
Pointless, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. Robert, it was a pleasure having you at Mixed Chat. Your insights and your personal journey, it was amazing. You know, I think our viewers and listeners will be pretty interested in the insights you have shared. And for us, we wish all the best luck for VOO.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having me, and I wish all of us a good show.
Thank you.